Welcome back. It's a sad day. A character who had such a promising life ahead of him cut down in his prime. A runaway tram, really, ending the series so abruptly. What are we going to do without it? Carry on like normal, actually. So, once again, we're watching some more Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei, where I feel even death doesn't want him, so he'll be back on our screens pretty sharpish. But you can see how much the class actually are in some sort of parasitical relationship with him and therefore cannot let him go. I wonder how far they're willing to go to actually heal him after such events. There's definitely going to be those that won't leave his side anyway. Which was kind of what caused all of this in the first place. But let's see some more Zetsubou Sensei. Okay. So we're going from a pub to a indoor bath. Not how I expected to start off this episode. Yeah, that might do. They put more effort into animating that explosion than they did the rest of the series. But that would definitely have a bit more effect than most of the other things he's tried so far. What is going? Is this meant to be a OVA type section, or was it actually episode 12? It was labelled as 12 for me, but still. So we were going back to the old opening song. My life goal is to have the confidence to be able to put my own face to a production that goes out like this. To have, I should really also brush up on a lot of my kanji. I am so lost. Anyway, I have my name on certain credits of certain films and TV shows. At least I can hold my head up with that one. But resigns. But to be the in charge one, the head of production, while not having your face plastered around. Interesting track to go along with this one, especially with the faces that are a lot more natural than the students were drawn. Such low self-esteem, immediately just jumping to, am I in the way? Oh, I'm causing you trouble. I wonder who will be focusing on this episode, to be fair. Yeah. Such a inconspicuous thing of a slight cough, and then it tumbles down to her. Well, due to how seating arrangement is done in schools, yes, to some degree it would be in the way. Every element of her life is an issue. Is it going to continue until someone worse comes along? Until the Zetsubou Sensei himself arrives in class? late. Immediate. He's, okay, so persecution complex I get, but thinking that your aura is in the way, putting yourself at a disadvantage just because... I mean, it feels like a very Japanese kind of thing. Very Japanese kind of thing, especially when the walls are so thin that you can hear what your neighbours are doing. There are some that I know that would do well to have a little more guilt about their actions, but... Why was there a Peanuts thing just now? Snoopy. Oh, God! The way they... Okay, introducing the characters. So the reason why you haven't really seen them before, they've been trying to... That's brilliant. Main character? Okay, having her have a main character complex is kind of interesting. Oh, it is the last episode. I mean, I think everyone can share a fraction of the blame here. She seems... Yeah, she seems happy about it being her fault. Take the fifth. I feel like because we don't get the usual story routine of what people are used to, for the most part, that might have something to do with why it's potentially unpopular. Did anyone give the go-ahead if they're allowed to leave class? They've come to a crossroads. Huh? My feeling entirely. Does it become worse when other people are involved? What is he on about? But... Huh? She... That's going a bit far. Still, it does remind me of the thing that James May once said. He's like, he wore the same jumper for so long, the actual brand emailed him, like, please stop wearing it. We'll give you free clothes, just stop wearing it. If you don't know who James May is, geez. So, is he going to use some wisdom of his to Natar Bucks? Anyway, if he's going to use some of that wisdom of his to talk her down from her position, or let her know there's worse things out there, like his life, for instance. Why is it so empty at this kind of time of day? They didn't get very far away from the crossing, did they? You could at least have half the food before taking it away. How do businesses even stay afloat in a time like this? The ones in the back. The ones in the... We expected it to go this way, mainly because, you know, they're doing the whole guilt complex thing. Only for drivers with a guilt complex, right? Somehow this is my fault. Probably for starting the show in the first place. If we can pass the buck, how far back can we send the blame? Get someone to accept it. I mean, you're bringing the nation's image down for not doing well. You know, I haven't been following the game of football very much, if at all, so I don't know the players that they're actually referencing here, but or the incidents per se. I can kind of guess though from what's being said. Well, yeah, that's just to get it over with faster. Can't tell what. A lot of these might not potentially have anything to do with the guilt complex itself, but why? What? What's got there? What? Yeah, these aren't guilt complex now. These are just not being able to do anything for yourself. I feel it reads a lot more into one's character by what they answer with here rather than what they're actually going for. Yes. Yes, you do. Apologise to all of Japan, actually. One mustn't get along with the neighbours. Being so... One thing I do like about Zetsubou Sensei, it doesn't halt itself from experimenting, especially with putting in things like that. Okinawa? So they're not going to find any place in particular in Japan, are they? Also, is this a reference to that one movie? I cannot remember what it's called now. Ah, finally we're going full circle, back to what we started with. Although this time on the... Oh, he actually took a leap. Yeah, it's not the rope you have to worry about, it's the sudden stop. I mean... I feel as though there is one here who doesn't take any blame in this, or doesn't particularly care. Really? Going down to the ship, you're buried with him. Like to play victim. That's one way to look at it, I guess. The less I think of that, the better. Going back to the old... Was that any different, or was that the same as before? What is this character? Mean-looking eyes. Okay, we've seen that before. Those with, like, dead fish eyes or angry eyes. People are afraid to talk to them. She does have quite a striking design, to be fair. Girl M. Maybe this isn't a I need to gouge my eyes out. Maybe this isn't a subversion of the trope or image. Huh? Surely couldn't be evil. Well, I jumped quite a bit with evil through just ringing a doorbell and running away. He is seeing the best in someone. That's okay. What a bastard! A mild annoyance at the door may not need to be resulting in physical contact like that. Too much it's too perfect. They can't fit the crime. You know, if the glove fits. Striped jumper, the headband, the must be fake. They wouldn't show it otherwise. So how much is this mean-eyed girl going to be able to get away with if they're going down the whole... It obviously can't be... It's not the appearance he's judging, it's the actions. But I guess if no one's around to see it, then... I mean, have you seen the ones who are running the government? So is she continuously going to act out and see what she can get away with just because everyone's bending over backwards to try and protect her? Good to stay cordial to everyone. Please leave the dog alone. You don't want to know what she's... That dog actually didn't seem to mind. Well, she looks on the good side. What? If it happens all the time, I don't want to see what happens in her neighborhood. Or who lives nearby her. If something so obvious cannot possibly be true, what does my face say about me? Do I even want to know? So, okay, murder mystery, when you think you've got the answer, can't possibly be true because there's a twist and turn somewhere always. It does seem as though she is, well, once again, no one held her accountable, so off to commit manslaughter. You know what? There's a few covers there which I think I recognise in some form or fashion that might be referencing. Nails through the noses? What? Actually, this might be for the best of everyone. Yeah, what could possibly be? Could delete all of her messages and remove her entire personality and history that she has. How can she unravel and do something against her? Strip her in public, maybe? I mean, the punishment should fit the crime, right? You know, I like this new character. If society lets them get away with it, why not? Time to commit some hate crimes. Oh no. There should be a limit. Mm. Home run. Got anything to say now? Hmm. What an. What if the victim himself. What if the victim himself laid the blame at squarely at her feet? What if there's video evidence showing them doing it? You know, at this point, it's kind of deserved. Going through the effort to set up a explosion, so anything she likes, right? Just add it to the list of characters then. She might have been hanging out in Japan a little bit too long to know both what tsundere is, but also be acclimatized to it. I feel like this is a reference, but I have no idea what to. All I can tell is from this last episode is, thankfully, it's the last episode. It's unpopular, so we'll never get a second series. The characters themselves are troubled dearly. The idea of this one who seems to get away with anything because of the mean-spirited look in their eyes. I liked it. I like the subversion of the subversion by playing it completely straight. And the character who holds themselves accountable over everything, no matter how little. I did like when they brought her in. So yeah, she's always been here, just not shown off because she's trying to avoid the limelight. What is go? Ah, okay. Second season. If we win, well, let's hope our luck is awful. And let's roll a. Which character do we want here? The shut-in. The mixed race one who will sue us. Ah! When they're the driver of the car. It seems we were lucky in that. Ah. There are some things where really I have to wonder what was going through the author's mind when he was writing it down. But taking things that we've seen in other medias, or sometimes even reality, and just stretching it to its extreme. What if everyone was horribly apologetic for every function of their lives? If I'm honest, though, there are certain companies and people, mainly big chains or some that I've definitely seen in America, who need to back down a bit on their self-assuredness and maybe just take a little bit of personal responsibility or corporate responsibility. Coming to traffic collisions, I don't think there's ever been a case where both parties agree they're at fault, outsiders who were not part of the collision say they were at fault, and going as far back as to be critics and reviewers saying, oh, you know what? Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. The absurdism of all of this is tantamount, is delectable, actually. The whole point of Zetsubou Sensei being this show that highlights flaws in character and society and just, amps it up a little bit. And then shoves it deep down in your throat, and there's nothing you can do about it. Unless you're into that kind of thing. We've definitely seen characters who would seem to be all for it. Ones that are already on all fours, having their necks stamped on. Lining up, actually, to have some sort of masochism parade. So lucky that I don't have to see that again. But what kind of neck muscles does the teacher have if he can survive a fall like that with only one safety harness strapped quite tightly? It'd be a fun little bungee jump experience, even if you only get to do it once. It's like skydiving without a parachute. I do wonder, because I've seen, the folder that I have is Zetsubou Sensei, and there's 5 seasons, if not more. I can't remember. But yeah, I've seen that. I wonder, the characters that we've been introduced to and seen so far, are they going to change and grow over the time? Or, much like why there's not a lot of popularity of this show, according to the show itself, it does away with that and just keeps ladling it on, introducing more character traits and moments and people. And we still have these one-line joke characters who do their shtick constantly, without fail. I want to find out. It's been fun, leading me to despair not that often, so I don't have to use the clip here. There is so much that is both running through my head and my inability to think after watching an episode that it's insane. What's the point having a little talk after the episode if I have nothing to add? Because what can I add to that? Although if you were looking for a dumbfounded moronic expression, well, you come to the right channel, so maybe I got the gist of this show quite well. It's got to come to an end somewhere, and diving straight into another season is something I could do, but I'll leave it up to you. If you want to see more Zetsubou Sensei, let me know. If any of you have actually reached it this far and want to see something else, put that down in the comments. We'll see. Because if no one actually cares, then I don't know what I'd do with myself. Don't know if I could find any bundles of dynamite. So at least that route is out. But if you enjoyed, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if I've entertained you, maybe jump onto my Discord. Links are in the description. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest. Try and stay out of trouble, because I want to see you for the next one. Whatever that may be. If you want to be part of the ones that let me get away with anything, consider joining onto my Patreon, because thanks to the likes of M.O, Mnoku, Sao, Guado, Kite, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else, people can look at all the evidence fitting far too nicely and realise this channel can't be as bad as it looks.